Okay guys, let's have a look at page 13 now then. We're on question 8, aren't we? We did part A on page 12, so we're on part B now. And we're talking about that tent. It packs away in a bag. Here's the tent that packed away in a bag. Not drawn to scale, okay. The bag can be thought of as a cylinder. See it, circular cylinder? So there's the circle, and that's the cross section then. This is the length. So when packed with the tent, the diameter of the bag is 28 centimeters. So from here to here is 28 centimeters, okay? And the length, so that height from there to there is 44 centimeters. Okay, calculate the volume in liters in the bag when it is packed. So if we think of it as a cylinder, the volume of a cylinder is equal to pi r squared h, isn't it? Pi r squared is the area of the circle, cross-sectional area here, times the height, pi r squared h. So pi is 3.14, isn't it? We need to take that as. So 3.14. R squared. Now the radius, there's the diameter, we've drawn it in, so the radius will be half that, won't it? So here the radius equals 14 centimeters. Agreed? Half of 28 is 14. So I need to times that then by 14 centimeters. That's squared, pi r squared, times the height, which is 44. The common mistake is not to put 14 but to put 28, isn't it? But we can see that it's pi r squared, the radius, and we were given the diameter. So we avoided that common mistake, didn't we? So let's just tap that out in the calculator then. So it's 3.14. Again, we're told in the paper to use pi to be equal to 3.14 times r squared was 14 squared. So let's just put that. We're on ground level because we use the square button. Times the height, which was 44, wasn't it? And what do we get there? We get that 27079.36. 27079.36, and that would be, because we're using centimeters, yeah, here and here is centimeters cubed, isn't it? Because it's a volume. So there we are. But the question, now let's check it says calculate the volume, but it says in liters. So again, we could easily make a mistake. To go 1 liter is a 10 by 10 by 10 box. So you think of it as 1,000 centimeters cubed. So I need to divide this by 1,000 to find out how many liters we've got. So divide that by 1,000 then. Let's tap that in a calculator. 27079. 27079 point what was it? 36. 0.36 divided by 1,000. There we are. So if we're going to round it, you see I'm going to round, because it's 27 litres and a bit, why don't we just do it to 1 dp? 27.1 litres, because that's how much fluid we need, don't we? If we round that to 1 dp, so let's do that, shall we? Equals 27.1 litres to 1 dp. So we tell the reader what we've done there, the examiner what we've done there, okay? Good, so that's that one done then. So we get that. The reason I used 3.14 and not pi in the calculator was because it said on page 2 of our exam table, it says take pi as 3.14 or use the pi button on your calculator. That's what it says on the cover sheet. So we've taken pi as 3.14. We could have used the pi button on our calculator because I've just read the cover sheet now, just double checking it. Alright, this answer's fine because we've used pi as 3.14, so that's okay. So part C then, Euro Park campsite, we've got some charges here per night. One person is €920. This is part C we're doing now. Pets is €0.30 and each tent plot is a €0.69 cost. Kim and Terry, that's 2 people, share 1 tent and stay for 2 nights at the Euro Park campsite. They change pounds into euros for an exchange rate of 1.15 euros to the pound. Calculate the cost in pounds of their 2-night stay in their tent. Well, these are all in euros, so the best thing is to do is to get the total cost in euros and then use the exchange rate and get back to what they would have need to have paid for it in pounds. Alright? So they stayed for 2 nights. One person, charges per night. It was 2 people for 2 nights. So 9.20 is 1 person per night. So 2 people would pay 2 lots of that, wouldn't they? And that's per night for 2 persons each night. Share 1 tent, so they haven't got tent, but they have to have a tent plot, and it's per night. So they would pay this, but they'd also have to pay plus 0.69 euros per night plus 1 tent plot. Yeah, so I've added the 0.69. They got no pets, have they? No, so that's not a problem. So that's what they pay per night, and they're staying for 2 nights. Okay, so 2 of this lot. So 2 nights equals this whole object, so I'm going to put it in a big bracket, is 2 lots of a big bracket. I'm going to use a square bracket, and it's 2 times 9.20 euros plus 0.69. Alright, that amount, and I'm going to close that bracket, and it's 2 of those. Alright, so we need to type that in the calculator. So we get, let's work from the inside out. The first, most innermost bracket is 2 times 9.20. So let's just do that. Okay, work out that thing. We get that number. Plus 0.69. So we've added that. We get that. And that's this whole thing in here. And that whole thing, we need to times it by 2. And that equals, and let's get the thing, 38.18 euros. Equals 38.18 euros. Now, that was how much it cost in euros, but so I'm going to run out of room because I'm writing rather large, so I'm going to go back up here now. So 38.18 euros, you'll probably write a lot smaller than me. Calculate the cost in pounds, and it's 115 euros to the pound. Right. So if it was 2 euros to the pound, say, I would just divide that by 2, wouldn't I? Yeah? If it was 10 euros, I'd divide it by 10, because it would then to the pound. But it's not, it's 1.15 euros. So can you see what I'm saying? If it were 2 euros to the pound, you divide it by 2, and half as many would be pounds, wouldn't they? So you divide, is what I'm trying to say, to cut a long story short. So that's all I'm going to say about that little point. So you have to divide that then by the 1.18 to get the pounds. So euros equals pounds. So 38.18 divided by 1.18. Let's do that then. 38.18, right, divided by 1.18. Okay, there we go. Ooh, here's our conversion rate. It's 32.355. We're doing to 2dp because that's the nearest penny. That third digit is 5, isn't it? So you'd need to round up the other 5 here to a 6. So it's 32.36. Yeah? Pounds. So it's £32.36p. That's what I reckon it is. Now let's have a look then. So suppose I wanted to just check. If I times 32.36 times 1.18, I'd see how much it cost in euros. So I'm just going to do a tiny little check. 32.36 times 1.18 for each pound. We'll see how many euros it would cost. 38.18. Yeah, That's okay. I think that's fine as an answer there. But the only problem is, can you see the problem? I've done 1.18 here. So I've spotted it straight away in the question. So let's just quickly change it. It's not 1.18, is it? It's 1.15. So let me just change that then. That's a tiny little correction. I'm going to do it now. I'm not going to redo the whole thing. Let's just work that out then. So it's 38.18. 38.18 divided by 1.15 equals... Oh, that's better. 33.20. So there's no issues. 33.2. £33, 20p. There we go. Sorry about that. Little mistake there. So there's our answer then. It would be £33 and 20p. And if you times that by 1.15, just a final check, times by 1.15, that's the exchange rate. I was hoping for a better exchange rate, you see. And you get 38.18 euros. Okay, but the exchange rate is 1.15 correctly in this question. So sorry about the little mistake there, but the good thing is we read the question again, gone through the due process, and we correct ourselves as we go along. Alright then, so that's that page done. Page 13, good, everything seems fine. So let's go on to the next page, page 14, great.